Hey, what's up, Riker? Yes, I finally made a visual appearance. I'm trying and testing my ring light. So I just got a desk ring light for Christmas. So I'm trying it out to see if it works. Or how it works, rather. I know it works. Just testing everything. I'm not going to do this all the time, but I'm going to do it sometimes, you know. Sometimes. I don't always like being seen. Especially being on the road to Happy New Year to you too, brother. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great Christmas. It doesn't look that bad. Only thing that looks bad is me. I need to lose some weight so I can get back to being my sexy self again. That's the only thing that's the issue. Other than that, everything works fine. I just wanted to see how it looked. Let's see. That's not it. A second. How does that look? Danielle was kicked out of New Jeans. Yes. Yes, I saw. I thought it would have been Hani. Yeah, you know, it just goes to show how not united these people are, these girls are. I think that whole, now that I think about it, I think the whole, we're united, you know, if one member says that they don't want to do it, we won't do it. I think all of that, that's just my thought. I think it might have been a front. I don't think that they were on the same page. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Let me just get, let me not get on that. I don't know what that is. Okay. And to think before this whole Minhee Jin thing happened, I actually liked New Jeans. I know, me too. I liked New Jeans as well until the Minhee Jin stuff happened. It's a shame. Everybody liked New Jeans. Everybody. Now it's not the same. There we go. Let me see if I can do something about this light. Give me just a moment. I really don't like that. Let me just move this over here. There we go. Not like you can see the whole thing, but it's there. Oh yeah, I got torched on Reddit. I don't know why you keep going there. I think you enjoy it. I think you enjoy going on Reddit with crazy people. Because that's just about almost everybody that exists on Reddit is crazy people. There we go. Is that going to pop up? Hopefully. I probably should have moved this a little bit over. Lesson learned. I'll just move this over here a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's fine where it is. Maybe I can move it like this way, and then that's a little bit better, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do this all the time. I like trolling. Yes, I can see you like trolling a lot. But yeah, I had a great Christmas. Gosh, I look so much. It's honestly, this camera, this is why, one of the reasons why I don't like showing myself, because I hate how the camera makes me look way chubbier than I actually am. I hate that. And because I'm so weight conscious, it's almost an obsession, which is bad. I don't know if I ever told you guys I suffered from bulimia a couple of years ago. Well, not a couple of years ago, quite a number of years ago. And I still have, you know, those kinds of mental issues. So I take everything super, super seriously with regards to weight. Which is one of the reasons why I don't like showing myself these days. Back when I was doing my reactions, I was a little thinner because I was actually consistently exercising. So I don't like showing myself these days. I really don't. I got to get back to my routines, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like showing myself. I have issues. I have issues. I should have put that away, but it's okay. I responded to a bunny whose post said, "Are never wrong." And I made a mistake by pointing out. I made a mistake by pointing out that by their logic, idols yeah. A mistake, Riker? A mistake? I don't think so. I forgot I should never call out hypocrisy. Well, not on Reddit. It's not a good thing to call out hypocrisy on Reddit. No. They don't like you for that. Like I said, people that exist on Reddit are not like operating within the realms and the confines of reality. So you can't go there expecting people to actually think outside of the echo chamber of the internet. So, you know. Or Twitter, yeah. Like I said, I'm on Twitter, but I don't go to a lot of different places. I stay with my Japanese friends who play Elden Ring. That's it. I just stick to them. I really do like this ring light. This is really nice. This is my first time testing it, and it's really, really great. I really like it. I really like it. And I'm slowly backing away from the phone because I don't like being that close. Not right now. Also have to take into account that when I started YouTube, I was 28 or 29. And so I've aged a bit since then. So maybe that's also a factor. But yeah, I need to stop talking about it because I'm too self-conscious. If I keep talking about it, I'm gonna like switch to VTube or something. Yeah, I'm really bad with that thing. I've had that since I was a kid, which, you know, no child should be focusing so much on their weight. I had baby fat when I was young, and I constantly wore a jacket even when it was hot because I didn't want other kids to see me pudgy and pick on me. Yeah, it's yeah. Not to go into too much detail, but yeah, I need to overcome that by losing weight. By losing weight. Yeah, no. My Christmas was great. You know, it's funny when you get older, you don't really care much about what you're gonna get as much as you do about, you know, spending time with family. So that's basically what we did. We spent some time with family. Well, my grandmother came over and we spent some time with her. And then we went over to my aunt's house and just to see them. And then we came back home. It was a simple Christmas day. It was nothing too spectacular. But yeah, it was just family. Of course, I got a few presents. But other than that, it was fine. It was fine. We ate a good little meal or whatever. The typical Christmas stuff. Nothing to you know, write home about. But I hope that you guys had a good Christmas. We have a rule in our household that only the kids get presents. It saves a lot of money because I have 5 siblings. Oh, wow. 5 siblings. All right, I really do want to switch to YouTube. Like I don't want to see myself. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do, because I can't really do that, but I can move and use live indicator, save video, flip. That'll work. This is a lot better for me. Thought I'd show my face, you know, a little bit after a year probably about almost a year of not seeing my face. Thought I'd show my face, but yeah, I go back to my natural habitat, the darkness. Yeah, I like this. I like this much better. Just being anonymous. Yeah, I gotta do something about that. That's a problem. My parents joke that they had a lot of free time. Yeah. That's a good joke, by the way. I wonder what the joke would be for my parents. They stopped at 4. There's 6 of you. That's crazy. Nowadays, you don't have more than 2 or 3 kids. Because, you know, affordability and all. Speaking of Danielle, though, I actually am planning on making a video about it, but I do want to tell you guys, first of all, I apologize for the late upload. The joke doesn't make sense because 5 of the 6, including me, are adopted. Okay, I see. That makes sense. I thought you all were like biological. But yeah, so I want to apologize to everybody because the video was supposed to be uploaded before New Year's. And as you can see, it's still not here. And I'm going to tell you what happened. I do still plan on putting this video out because I gotta. The problem is that I already knew my data storage was already bad. But you could imagine with, I don't know, 50 something gigabytes left of storage data, an hour-long video is going to whittle that storage data down. So, and even keeping CapCut open while you're editing whittles your data storage down. So, when the time finally came for me to, you know, download, or should I say, I guess, upload the video to my laptop, I ran into an issue where I didn't have enough storage space, so I had to clear out space, just enough to have it downloaded. I did that. Took me an entire day to do that, but I did it. Then I downloaded it. Okay, took hours, but I downloaded it. Then I uploaded it to YouTube, only to discover what I had feared, that the video cannot be seen by anybody because there's content on it that makes it impossible for it to be monetized or seen. So now I have to go back and edit it again. Am I going to do that immediately? No, because I go back and edit it, right? And then once I start to try to like re-upload it, that's a whole nother hour-long video. It's the same thing, but it's an hour-long video that I'm going to have to try to like get storage space back to actually do. So there's that. I can't risk my computer's storage space being whittled down to, you know, what it was. I can't do that again. I'm already trying to figure out how to recover more storage space back so that I can upload smaller videos like I was doing. So yeah, it's gonna come out eventually, but right now I'm having trouble. And I wanted it to be my kickoff New Year's video, and I'm really pissed off that it's not. So that's why there's been a delay, and I do apologize. Again, I know you said I don't have to apologize, but well, I wasn't gonna upload the New Jeans thing. I wasn't gonna upload the New Jeans thing. I was just gonna make a video, you know, separate from the hour-long video that I'm talking about. Y'all, you remember the video? I let you guys hear a portion of it, talking about the K-pop was stolen, or the genre of K-pop is just stolen music from black people, which is a stupid argument, but whatever. I was going to upload that video. That was the video that was like the hour-long video. Unfortunately, you know, situation arose, and now I have to start over by just making another video that has nothing to do with that, and coming back to that video later, because it's too long and it takes up too much storage space. So I'll get back to that video later. The only problem is me keeping that video on my laptop, because it is an hour-long video that takes up a lot of storage space, and I don't have anywhere to move it right now. So maybe I should buy like a hard flash drive or something. I am looking into buying an external hard drive as well to increase my data storage. So I'm looking into that too. Yeah, just a lot going on. A lot going on. Seems like I always run into issues with these long videos. This is why I knew it. When I started adding stuff to the video and started talking more, I knew it was going to be a long video. I just knew it. That's what happens when you don't script. Scripting would have taken a long while. Recording it would have taken even long, but at least it would have been probably not as long as what it was. This video was way too long. Yes, long videos are my kryptonite. They are. They truly are. The most successful I've been with actually creating and uploading a long video was the What is Woke video. What is woke in Korean culture? What is woke in Western and Korean culture? Something like that it was called. That was the only 1 hour long video I had ever done. And after that, I swore I would never do another one because of how grueling that was for me. But I still want to make this one because I think there is a lot to be said. So I'm going to make it. I am going to make it. But, well, it's already made. I just have to re-edit some stuff because there's a few, like, video footage of, like, aespa stage mix I need to get out of there. Apparently that's, you know, off limits. So I'm going to edit that out of there. And then, so it might be a bit of an awkward edit, but hopefully, you know, what I'm saying and what's being said is the key point. Now, I do have, no, actually, no, I don't. I think I deleted that. Never mind. I was about to say I do have the original audio, but the problem with the original audio is, even though it is whittled down to like 40-something minutes, there was a point that I wanted to make that I didn't get to make in that one, so I didn't edit it because I was afraid that it would be a really gruesome upload, and it would have been. It definitely would have been. The proof is in the pudding. I've already uploaded the hour-long one. So there's that. But, so I went back and, you know, edited more of what I wanted to say in there that I didn't get to say in the other one. And then there's still a piece that I didn't get to edit, which what I will do is I'll make it a YouTube short form video and do it that way. There's also the option of putting it out in parts, but I don't know if I want to do that because that still will take up time on a video that already is whittling down my data storage. Just trying to like open up CapCut and do it. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave that alone for the time being and focus on my analysis videos and things like that, because I want to get into some Junkin stuff. Also, I've been thinking about doing some throwback shorts from like the older, the 4 years ago, and you know, things like that. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that too. Definitely gonna do that too. Probably could have did it while I was doing the other stuff, but it was just it had my attention, so I wanted to make sure I did one thing at a time. It was a great video. Yeah. Well, it'll still be, it's on my YouTube channel. It's privated, for obvious reasons, because I can't really do anything with that. But I will definitely try to get it edited, re-edited rather, and then uploaded later. Like later. So it will be available. Just can't afford to do it now, which sucks. But other than that, yeah, that was not supposed to be how my year ended, with no video. I wanted to at least have one solidified last video wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that stuff, and it didn't happen. So I am disappointed in that. Yeah, that's not how I wanted my year to end. But yes, you know, I apologize a lot when it comes to being a content creator, because I know that there are people that look forward to my content, and I look forward to giving it to them in a timely fashion. And it just didn't happen. And I'm disappointed that I didn't get it out. So I'm trying my best to rectify it. So I'm going to rectify it as soon as possible. But at the moment, this video I can't show at the moment. So I'm just going to have to move on to the next project. I've got a few ideas, video analysis wise or song analysis wise. I'm actually supposed to be working on an ONU song analysis. I need to also do other artists as well. I'm very well aware that I need to do other artists as well, not just Shiny. I'm just doing Shiny right now because it's easy to get in. It's easy to talk about this stuff about Shiny because I'm just such a Shiny fan. So, but I'll do other ones, other groups and stuff. I really want to do other ones. There's some people that have actually asked me to make like video analysis, or at least I can't do reactions, but video analysis of, I think, was it Espa? No. Is it Espa? I think it is Espa, actually. Yeah, the album, one of the albums that they came out with. Because it's such a great album, Armageddon or whatever. I want to do that because I've heard some of the songs, and that album slaps. Like that album slaps. It really does. I actually liked it. I want to go back in time and do some video analysis stuff on like FX. Maybe even dive into, I really want to do like the history of with regards to like K-pop groups and you know, underground hip hop and stuff. Like, I really want to. I just have to dedicate some time to do it, and that means that you might just see a bunch of YouTube shorts coming out while I'm working on it, which is fine by me. But I really want to do that. That video was a breath of fresh air because pretty much every other K-pop channel seemed to have a left-leaning slant to them. I don't have my glasses on, so that's why. Let me just blow this up real quick because I can't see well. There we go. That video was a breath of fresh air because pretty much every other YouTube, K-pop channel seemed to have a left-leaning slant to them, which is fine. But I like your willingness to stand up for people like Leo. Yes, I've noticed that in the K-tube space, a lot of people are more left-leaning than right-leaning. I don't like to consider myself as a right-wing person. I'm not. I'm more of like a center, I guess, center-right. So more, because I have more conservative values than I do progressive values. But it's funny because K-pop actually helped me with my progressive views a little bit more. I do have progressive views with regards to certain things, but not like everything. You know, there is a cap with me. But the What is Woke thing was really a passion project for me. And it was a labor of love because I really wanted to show people like the problem with wokeism. Of course, left-leaning people have a different perception of what wokeism is. They believe it's, you know, the word's been co-opted by the right or whatever. I don't hold that opinion. I believe that when you are trying to show people an oppression of a minority, group of people, when you're trying to highlight an oppression, that's what wokeism is. The problem is modern day wokeism has become something where we've created like these different oppressions, created them. And now we're saying that this is wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong. So everything now is what's the term? I guess microaggression. Everything is now seen as can't touch this, can't touch that, can't touch this. Otherwise you're racist, you're homophobic, you're transphobic, you're this, that. Having your own moral values and saying that I don't think that this is healthy or this is right or that is right is now seen as hate speech. And it's trickled down to K-pop, where Black people are self-deprecating. Well, not self-deprecating, probably the wrong terminology. I would say that they are, self-deprecating. That's not the right terminology. How do I say this? Black people are projecting, I'll put it that way, their past struggles of, slavery and being seen as less than because of the color of their skin and all this stuff onto Korean people, and saying that if you say something about a pale-skinned person, then you are like colorist outright, because the history of Korea is homogenous society, and they viewed bright-skinned people as more desirable and of higher class, upper class, and the tan-skinned people were seen as less than and impoverished and all this stuff. And so they put this condition onto every Korean that says something about pale skin, and I think that's absolutely a dangerous thing to do. Because you're generalizing and saying every Korean that says something about pale skin being attractive to them is saying it because of the singular issue. That is not true at all. It's a lie. It's absolutely a lie. Because you haven't asked 100 Korean men and women, why are you attracted to bright skin? Is it because of the homogenous society of South Korea? Is it because of the colorism standards that were placed upon Koreans back in the day? You're not asking them. You're just assuming that all of them think this way because of this one thing. And it was that alongside other factors. And I didn't hammer all that stuff in as much as I would have liked to, because if I had, it would have made the video even longer. I wanted to hammer in the point of what is the difference between real oppression and perceived oppression. Oppression that exists in one's mind only, it needs a target. And since, white people did harm to Black people back in the day, the easy target is white people, is the reason why I'm still can't get ahead, even though I never partook in the slavery and all this stuff. I was never enslaved. That was like centuries ago. But there's still remnants of that around, which I would say is true, that there are remnants of that around in the form of racist people, not in the form of systematic racism, as people claim it is. there are certain states, right, that still do like systematic racism things. I think it was North Carolina or South Carolina, one of those two. The Silver Dollar Road, I talked about that before, Silver Dollar Road, where the government was, I think it was pretty much the government was trying to take the property of these black property owners. The Silver Dollar Road was property that was given to them by inheritance. I think it was like a white guy gave the black man this land and it was his. But I don't know if they had documentation for that. But the government was trying to, or at least the state, I'll put it that way. Sorry, maybe I should be a little more specific. The state was trying to take that property away. And they did manage to take some of it away, not all of it. And the two black men that owned the land, because they were descendants of the man that owned the land, refused to give up the land. And so they were put in jail, prison, should I say, for a number of years. So it's not like, I'm not saying that there is not issues where you have racist people running a state, and trying to like get a one-up on black people. I'm not saying that. But systemic or systematic, or however you want to say it, is implying that it's codified into law that every state in the United States has this issue. And that's not true of America anymore. So, that was my argument for that. I would have loved to have gone deeper into those topics, but I was trying to relegate everything to the South Korean perspective and how black people and other people that aren't black impose these like very left-leaning, very progressive, very honestly harmful belief systems onto Koreans as if to punish them, to oppress them, and tell them they can't do. You can't wear a do-rag because it's disrespectful. And I even made a video on the history of the do-rag. I made a video on it, and I'm sure that there's people that agree with it and people that don't agree with it. But I made the video. I put history into perspective, all of the stuff that tied into that. It was a very detailed video of the history of the do-rag. And I don't know if anybody's seen that. If definitely go watch my history of the do-rag video. I went very in depth. It was probably maybe the first historical video I did. And basically telling people that it's wrong for you to impose these kinds of beliefs onto Koreans that don't mean any harm. But you perceive it's harm. Therefore, it's harm to you. And that's the difference between real oppression and perceived oppression. You perceive that it's harm because you've been told by your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents about the struggles of black people and all this stuff. And imposing that kind of stuff onto Koreans when the Koreans already have a really big issue with cancel culture, like canceling idols for getting married and having kids, canceling idols for going to see friends and they think that they're like in a relationship, a secret relationship, canceling them for actually having a relationship outside of the fandom. Just all these different things that they get canceled for. They don't need our help, was my point. But somebody made a comment saying that they thought it was weird that I was tying in all of those things together. Like they thought it was weird. But, the video that I wanted to show you guys about the Korean American woman, like literally self-deprecating on her own ethnos and telling them they need to do better because they're stealing black music. That was literally a good example right there. Right there of what I was talking about in the What is Woke video. Literally, that was it. And it sucked that I could not get into like I wanted to. It sucked that I could not upload that video. I really want to get that video out because it's basically like a continuation of the What is Woke video, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it was a gutsy move. It was really bold. I did step out and I said, if I lose subscribers because of this, so be it. I'm going to put this video out regardless because I strongly believe in this. And I did it. So, I appreciate that there were people that actually did see and understand and appreciated what I said. Even if people disagreed, at least, like, if you respectfully disagree and not, like, hurl insults at me, that's fine. Because one of the things I have tried my best to do, especially in recent years, is to not hurl insults at people when they have an argument I disagree with. Because then the conversation doesn't get moved past the insult. So I've been trying to, like, not do that, because I actually like addressing the argument more so than the person. I don't like to call people idiots, but I think that if something you said is idiotic, then I'm going to say it's idiotic. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I don't see much a difference in saying that an argument is idiotic. It's not coming from an idiotic person, but the argument is idiotic, because it's possible that you could be a very intelligent person and you just make a really bad argument. And some of my arguments might not have been that great either in the past, according to some people. You know, everybody has different perspectives of people's arguments. So there's that. But I tried my best to present, like, really, like, examples of this within the video. I tried my best, and it was scripted. I tried my best to lay out everything as clearly as I could in the What is Woke video. That video, no matter how downplayed it might be, no matter how many views it might not get or likes, that video is my magnum opus. Like, that video is my magnum opus. And it's like, since my belief system's already out there, I feel like I don't think anybody's going to care at this point what I put out. But there are new people that subscribe to my channel that may not have seen that video or know how, like, what I think about this stuff. And so, you know, if they see that video, they might run away. But then again, it would be better, and I've been trying to hold myself to this. My principle: I would rather tell you the truth and have you leave than to lie to you just to keep you around. Because then I'm just doing it to pander to you. I don't care if you leave or come. If you come and you stay, thank you for staying. I appreciate you. Let's grow and build, you know, this channel together. If you leave, you know, best of luck to you. Thank you for, you know, spending however much time you spent with me. I appreciate you nonetheless. But I'm not going to pander to you and tell you, you know, stuff that you want to hear just so that you can stick around, because then I'm being dishonest to you and to myself. And I'm just not going to do that. I've been doing this stuff for 4 years, working on year 5. I will not pander to people. I just won't. I'm 34 years old. I don't have a lot of time in my life to pander to people. Okay? I'm not a cute person. I don't do that, you know, well, let me just go along to get along stuff. Yes, I'm a cool person. Yes, I'm very chill. I'm very relaxed. I love talking to people, even people that disagree. But there's a line I won't cross. I'm not going to, you know, not going to cater to and hold your hand and all that stuff. So if you disagree, you disagree. If you agree, you agree. And we can argue these things and have like a decent conversation without hurling insults. That's all I want. You address your point, I address my point, we address each other's point, we rebut, we have, you know, arguments, things like that. That's fine. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, it's cultural appropriation, when I'm deep down in my mind, I know this is not cultural appropriation. Everything is cultural appropriation to Black people. Everything. Literally. Everything. So you can't, like, there's just no way. There has to be some nuance in this discussion. And so that's one of my inspirations for making that video. To this day, I will always hold that video close to my heart, because it took a lot of time and effort. I think it was like 4 months in the making. While I was doing other content, I was... Reaction videos was very easy to do back in the day. But I knew that there was going to come a time where the reaction videos would stop. And I think not long after that What is Woke video, I stopped doing reactions and started focusing on more serious topics. Because like the N-word shouldn't be used by anyone, regardless of your skin color or ethnicity. I put that video out. Quite a few videos talking about that. History of the do-rag, of course, like I said. There were just several things building up to the more serious tone of my channel. But I think I did the right thing. There was one guy on that video that I felt just wanted to disagree with you because they were so unwilling to accept my reframing of your argument, and he just wanted to call you names. Too many people just use like one example of an actual racist person complaining about wokeness to then make it seem like everyone is just racist if they hate. Yes. And you know, it's funny because some of the same people that say that we repurposed the word woke or we co-opted it or whatever are the same people that if you call them woke, they'll say, yes, I am woke. Yes, I am woke. I'd rather be woke than asleep and all this stuff. So some of them actually admit to being woke. It's not like something that's like, oh, don't call me that. No, if you are woke, just own it. My problem is, I think wokeness is rooted in this need to, it's literally, I feel like wokeness was created because of a need to bring awareness to injustice. And it's been tainted by progressivism, like hyper progressivism, to where now you can't, you know, there used to be, you know, a time where, which I'm not saying that this is necessarily a good thing, but there used to be a time when you could, you know, comedians could make fat jokes. Your mama's so fat and this stuff like this. And we all knew it was a joke. We all knew it was a joke. But now it's like hypersensitivity kicks in. You can't do that anymore. You know, I have two parents that are overweight. Okay. I don't think that that's funny. But at the same time, I know good humor when I hear it. You know, I'm a 90s kid, so we grew up with the Your Mama's So Fat, she played pool with the planets and all that stuff. It was funny. But no, like, the thing is, you have fat friends that, you know, you would never make a joke like that to your fat friends because you don't view them in that way. Because the comedians that make the jokes, you know, it's a joke. That's their job. It's their profession. It's a joke. There's some truth to certain jokes, but there's no such thing as a person so fat that they can play pool with the planets. We all know this. There's no such thing as a person so fat that they can literally go into space and bump into, you know, Venus and Saturn and Mars. There's no such thing. It's a joke. And people take it so seriously now that you can't even say stuff like that. Just certain things are off limits. You can't, I don't know. It's been so long since I've even like touched on certain things. I don't even dwell in this neighborhood anymore. I just don't. So coming up with examples would be very, very, I would have to think really hard, but you guys know what I mean. It's just, I think that we've become so progressive that nothing is, like, everything's off limits now. Everything's off limits. Even now, black genres of music, according to some people, are off limits. If you're not black, don't adapt that music into your culture because you're stealing. That's woke. Like, it's an injustice. And the reason for, and this is why I say it's woke, because the reason for not adapting the music that's black people created is because black people were marginalized, penalized, and all this other stuff. They go back to the oppression of the past with black people to justify why other ethnicities can't adapt the music or the genres. That's their reasoning. That's called bringing awareness to an injustice. The problem is it's a perceived injustice. And it's not actually rooted in what's true, because what's true is black artists are being celebrated. Black artists are thriving. Black artists are getting awards. Black artists are getting notoriety. You know, gone are the days of Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson and all that stuff. Black people are actually winning. You know, Born by the River, you know, it's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. Oh, you know, it's been a long, what is it? What's the words? It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come. We ain't in that time era anymore. We're not in that time era. And so when people act like the pain of the past is supposed to dictate the present when it comes to black people, I can't stand it. We have gone so past that. When I wake up every morning, I say to myself, you know, thank God that I'm not in chains. I'm living my ancestors' dream. My ancestors dreamed of being as free as I am. I'm subservient to no one but God. That's great. Okay? I'm not getting paid, you know, for a daily, you know, for working hard and all that stuff. I'm not, back in the slavery days, I didn't get paid. You know, you work to live on the land, but you don't get paid. I get paid. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I'm against the woke agenda and stuff. I don't like it. I used to be for that stuff. Like I said, BLM, when BLM came out after George Floyd and all that, I donated to BLM. I believed in the cause. I slightly believed in defunding the police. But then my common sense kicked in and said, you dummy, you live in Baltimore, Maryland, one of the most worst criminal, you know, places in the United States. Defunding the police will reduce the number of police on the ground, making violence and crime escalate. Don't you dare. And so I shut my mouth. I thought about it. Then I realized that BLM actually was a fraud. And yeah, I was giving my money to a fraud organization that don't care about black people, because black people have a every man for himself mentality sometimes. It's not like a community. There's some community in black communities, but it's not every black community, and that's unfortunate. Especially not here in Baltimore. Oh my God, it's a dog eat dog thing here. It's like every man for himself, for real, for real. Anyway, let me there are way too many people who pandered for money. I don't like being pandered to. I love hearing different opinions. Yes, I love people making wheelchair jokes around me because they're treating me as the same way as everyone else. That's another thing. You know, like you know, they have the plus size community now. We want to be treated like everybody else, seen as normal. You know, skinny people get joked on too. Maybe not as much as big people do, but skinny people still get joked on. I got joked on a lot, you know, when I was like super thin. Oh yeah, I did. I got joked on a lot. So I know the opposite end of that. But if you want to be treated like everybody else, you don't take everything so seriously. Because now you're making it serious, and we have to be like, okay, we got to be sensitive to their feelings. All right, let's not make jokes like that anymore. And some people are like, hey, morally, it's wrong to make jokes like that. And I get that. However, if you can clearly discern that it's a joke and that it's not intended to offend, but to at least like put a smile on your face and be like, hey, okay, that was funny, then you shouldn't take it that seriously. But because everybody's taking this stuff, even the furry community, like the people take the furry community seriously. That's a mental illness. If my child goes walking around the house, barking like a dog, meowing like a cat, or neighing like a freaking horse, and saying that I'm a horse. And mind you, they're not like 5 years old. They're like 17, 18 years old. There's a mental illness problem. It's not something that should be like seen as a community. You know, like I said, I have a cap on progressivism. There's just certain things you just don't cross. Anyway. I hate the term black culture, because a black man from the South, someone in the South grew up different than a black guy from Cali. Yeah, that's true. Same as, no, actually, you have a really good point. Same as there is no ultimate white culture, there's also no black culture or Asian culture. I mean, I don't know. I think there's like white culture. I think there is Asian culture, because it is different. There are different cultural things that they do and adhere to that whites and blacks don't. You know, conversely, whites adhere to different things than blacks. That's why white people will step into a black environment, when there are certain things that are done or said or whatever, they are like, oh, this is new, you know, because they don't do that. Similar, if a black person stepped into a room full of white people and they have certain cultural things that they share in common, blacks don't particularly understand that kind of cultural divide, right? Which is why you got things like music, which is a universal language that, you know, transcends boundaries of culture and race and, you know, ethnicity and all that. So, more so, to me, wait, sorry. Let me, the problem is like with most, the problem is like with most movements like BLM, is that scummy people take advantage of well-meaning people to help make themselves richer. Yes, and that's exactly what was happening, which is why they got busted. To me, if you can't make wheelchair jokes, it comes off as we can't joke about them because they are more sensitive than normal people. Yeah, and because they are a minority group, you know, they place all of these labels on these different groups of people. The plus size community, wheelchair community, or disabled community, or whatever you want to call them. They place these labels on them. I think it's probably more so rude to insult like mentally challenged people than people in wheelchairs and overweight people, because they're mentally ill. Like, they're mentally challenged or whatever. That's a different thing. But because they are different. They behave differently. They are differently than we are. They are a marginalized community of people, right? They have mental issues that prevent them from comprehending, you know, on the same level as, say, you and I would. Some of them can't speak. Some of them have trouble speaking. Some of them, you know, they have issues. And I've seen quite a few of them in my lifetime. You know, they need help. They have to be waited on hand and foot by their parents for the rest of their lives. That's not normal. You know? So I can understand being more sensitive to that community, but to people like you and me, I don't see that as a problem. Most movements, oh yeah, so I read that one. To me, if you can't make weird joke, it comes off as we can't joke about them because they are more sensitive than normal people, even if that's not what they mean. It's how it feels. Yeah, understood. Well, I mean, more so, there is no white culture that every white person does. That's true, because there's Italian white people, there's Scottish white people, there's German white people, so yeah, there's different like cultures, you know, within that whole like different ethnicities within. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Totally. But you could also say the same or similar things to black culture as well, which I think, to your point, that's what you were trying to say. There's British black people, there's Scottish black people, German black people, there's biracial, black and white, or black and whatever, black and Asian. Hey, my brother is married to a Japanese woman. They have two beautiful mixed kids. It's a different culture. They don't know about black culture or white culture. They know about Asian culture because that's what they're exposed to. They live in Japan, let's see, to me, as long as you aren't actually making fun of my disability or call me, the R word, everything else is a fair game. Yes, I agree. Basically, my problem is adding a race to the term culture. Yes. Adding an ethnicity to the term culture. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, but the same issue you have with, saying black culture, white culture, I have the same issue with like race, the term race. I hate the term race. It's so stupid. Because like, not because you're saying it. I'm just saying the term race. Because I realize now why the term race is there's two meanings to race now. Race is supposed to have one meaning. Like, we're all human. That's the race. But race has two meanings, apparently. There's the social construct of race that separates different groups of people by color and ethnicity. And then there's the human race, which is the actual race term. It should be ethnicity. Maybe it's because it's hard to say. I don't know. That's why people resort to saying race. But I just always have a problem with that. I used to be okay with race because I used to, say that stuff a lot. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, why do we say race? And then I realized, social construct. Race is, that kind of race is a social construct. It's created by the powers that be to divide and separate different kinds of people, which is where the term racism comes from. It's based on the construct of race. But yeah, to go back to the Leo conversation, yes. So I actually made a video defending Leo. I didn't get to finish it, so it ended very weirdly. There was supposed to be a part 1 and part 2. But because I had iMovie at the time when I was editing it, the video was so long and there were so many features I was adding to the video, it literally crashed iMovie. So I could no longer use iMovie. Therefore, I could no longer upload the second part of the video. Which, the video was still incomplete, but I think I drove all my points home to a degree where you could at least see where I was coming from. Yeah, that was the first big video I ever did, was that Leo video, because I felt like he was done so wrong, and I still feel like he was done wrong. So, I will always defend Leo. People can say what they want. I will always defend Leo. And of course, being black and defending Leo is like just, it's like an egregious sin. You're black. How could you say that? He was like trying to act black. I'm like, what do you mean act black? What does that even mean? You mean act hood? because not every person that's black acts like somebody from the hood. And that's the kind of energy that that rap gives you. Angry, thuggish rap. That's the stuff that he likes. He listens to that music and he's inspired by it, and it speaks to him in a way that no other genre of rap does, which is why he adapted it like that. And if you listen to the context of the songs that he was singing, they all have an interlocking story, which is why his attitude changes between songs. But you try to tell people that and they go nuts. Like, no, he was acting black. He was acting black. No, that's not what was happening. But you gotta be careful when you do that, because, you never know what your false accusations could end up doing to a person like Leo. I'm just glad the man's still alive and he's still making music, and yes, he's not getting the spotlight that he used to get. Thanks in no small part to how a lot of people in the West handled Leo's situation. But still, I think he's a good kid. I would love to meet him. I'd love to shake his hand. I'd love to talk to him, have an interview with him. I'd love to like understand his love for black hip hop rap. Of course, the kind of rap he's interested in, I'm not interested in. I don't think it's not my piece of cake. But he's inspired by it, and it's seen as inappropriate for him to be inspired by black music and to adapt the style, the flow, and the way he carries himself on the stage. It's wrong, apparently. It's wrong. And of course, they were saying that he was rapping about misogyny, which he wasn't. So yeah, I made the whole video talking about the lyrics and stuff like that. People either liked it or they didn't. I don't care. I made the video. It's out there. It's been out there for about, oh God, what, 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Read them and weep, buddy. I'm not gonna cater to people and say, yep, it was absolutely cultural appropriation and that was rude. My mind tells me no. That's not it. There's more to it. Too many people were acting like they had never heard an American hip-hop artist say much worse stuff, yet it was a problem. Yeah, it was a problem because he's a K-pop trainee. And in a K-pop trainee, you're not supposed to do that. When the rap battle is something that they have, I guess, monthly or so. And so he had to prepare some songs, and there was nowhere in the rules of the rap battle where it says you have to rap in a K-pop manner. You can't curse, you can't, be yourself and stuff like that. They allowed them the space to be themselves. And so, like, they're not, and they're K-pop trainees. They're not actual artists yet. So this should not have been a controversial issue, but because of the how do you say it? It's not toxicity. It's something else. It's toxic, maybe toxic sensitivity or something. I don't know. There's a term for it. But due to that, he got completely destroyed by, black K-pop stans, white K-pop stans, even some Korean K-pop stans, because they believe what black K-pop stans say about them. We're oppressed, we're beat down, we're marginalized, we're penalized, we are restricted, restrained, tempered, and all that. And other ethnicities latch onto what blacks say and say, yes, let's defend them, let's defend them. So, yeah, they were attacking Leo. It took a mental toll on the guy. He was young. You don't do that. He's Australian. Yes, he's Australian. Actually, some people didn't know he was Australian. They thought he was from Korea. Some people didn't know he was Australian. And then they say, oh, he's Australian, then he should know better. No, he's inspired by music that, you know how many Asians in Korea Shoot, do you know how many Asians in the East love rap? You don't say nothing about Tao. I'm not gonna bring up Chris. We all know why we're not bringing up Chris. But Tao, Tao has soul. I loved Tao. Tao had soul. He had passion. He had charisma. He brought some swag to EXO. I miss the guy being in EXO. But some black folk would think, oh, he trying to act black. Oh, he trying to do the Dougie, like that's black folk. Now he can't do that. Now he can't. Everything that black people created has to be apparently somehow owned by them, to the point where no other ethnicity can do it. Otherwise, it's cultural appropriation or racism, or you're trying to create a caricature of black people. So I hate this mentality. I really do. Anyway. Like really, you haven't heard T-Pain songs talk about women, but Leo was wrong. Yeah, right. Leo was wrong for calling the girl a bee and a hoe. But the context of the song tells you why he's calling her these things. And it doesn't say anything about him hitting or attacking her. He just called her a hoe and a bee and said, F that hoe in my bag. Meaning that he caught her trying to steal his money. My bag. And black folk know these terms. That black folk that listen to this music know these terms. So I'm surprised that they act like they just don't know what this stuff means when Leo does it. But when black rappers do it, they totally get it. Or it's justified when a black person talks about effing that hoe, that like F that hoe in my bag. You know, why does B stop breathing? They thought that the whole stop breathing thing was that he was like trying to kill her or something or unalive her. That was not what that meant. What it meant was when she realized she was caught, she gasped, like she stopped breathing. Can't nobody tell me why this B stopped breathing. F that hoe in my bag. Like the whole, like the song, yes, it's disjointed English, but that's usually what rap is, at least nowadays. And you just got to understand the Morse code, verbal Morse code of black rap music. You know, that's what it is. But it's not, he didn't try to unalive her or anything like that. She didn't stop breathing because he put his hands around her neck. She stopped breathing, not literally, but she gasped. Like, shoot, I got caught. The song prior talks about how he's a people pleaser and he likes to please his friends and he likes to please his girlfriend by, you know, buying her stuff, flaunting his money. And that flaunting of the money leads her to perceive that she wants the money, not him. Even the song prior talks about how he thought it was love, but it wasn't meant to be. He thought what was happening was love. But the truth is, she was not after him. She was after what he was flaunting. So he honestly kind of blames himself for flaunting the money, which actually shows a level of maturity at that age, because usually you don't think that way. But Leo kind of showed a level of maturity, talking about how, like, yeah, I flaunted the money, right? And now I'm still, like, not sure what's happening, which I thought was very interesting. It's like there's a level of maturity, but there's still room to grow, because he wants it to work so bad that he's still willing to stay with her, even though he has a sneaking suspicion that she's not interested in so much him, but what he can give her. And so in the third song, when he finally catches her, the tone shifts to like being more angry. Now the second song, the first song was about that. The second song was he got a little more angry. And then the third song, which was the Stop Breathing, the most controversial song, that was when he had had enough and he was like, F that hoe. I don't see the problem, but I guess because it's all about the ethnicity and the color of the person that's doing it. It's not so much about that they're doing it. There's a difference between, what was it, Kiss of Life? Was it Kiss of Life? Doing that little birthday thing that was themed like on on like something about hip hop or something like that. I can't remember. It was supposed to be like a homage or something, like honoring or whatever, but it ended up being like them basically putting on a stereotype of like black people, and it was very ignorant. That was not what Leo did. Leo literally is about that life. Like when it comes to music, he loves and is inspired by that kind of music. He wasn't trying to like, he wasn't playing around. He wasn't, you know, messing around. He enjoys that stuff. It was a literal enjoyment, and black folk could have possibly ruined that enjoyment for him. Thankfully they didn't, and he's still making music. But I think for the most part, it was very, like, you don't know Leo. You don't know the friends he had in Australia. You don't know the company he kept. You don't know who his friends were. So to assume that he's just trying to play a caricature, or he's trying to like imitate black people in a very disrespectful manner, when you know nothing about this kid. You don't know him from Adam, except for what he did on that rap battle. It's just, that's why I defended him. That's why I defended him. Like, you can't tell me how that it's wrong for him to do that when black artists do it all the time and they are praised. Black rappers do it all the time, but because they're black, it's okay. But when Leo does it, all of a sudden, something's wrong. Because he's a K-pop trainee. When the rap battle had no rules saying that you had to rap in a K-pop style in order to, you know, participate. There was no such rule. So if you want to blame somebody, blame the people that made the rules for the rap battle. Maybe blame them. Don't blame Leo. Anyway. I heard Leo's, I heard Leo's song and BTS War of Hormone song. And I thought I heard, well, sorry, and I thought, sorry, I see a quotation, and I thought it was a quote, like you were about to say something. Okay, I'm messing up. Let me read it again. Let me, where am I? I heard Leo's song and BTS War of Hormone song, but I thought, I heard, but more, and I thought I heard, my fault, and I thought I heard, but more objectifying songs growing up. Yeah, gotcha. Whew, that was tough for me. I don't know why. Not much, but yeah. Like I had agreed with the backlash I would have agreed with the backlash if he said the N-word or something, but really him saying F that B. Well, the F that hoe in my bag, I think that was like a part of the chorus, so he said it several times. But still, the number of times he said it still is not a cancelable thing, because, again, black rappers do the same thing. And they actually say worse things than what he did. So, I think Trainee A would have been a great K-pop group. But they say Leo ruined it, but truly it was K-pop stans. They ruined it. They did it. Because they came at Leo and it messed up the whole thing. They scrapped Trainee A, and I think one of the reasons why I feel like it would be disingenuous to not at least admit, I strongly believe one of the reasons why is because of the Leo thing. I strongly believe that was one of the main primary reasons. Among other things, obviously. Oh yeah, you're right. It's been a while since I've seen the clip. Yeah, I actually have the whole rap battle clip. I think the original channel, Trainee A, had deleted the video, but I found another YouTube channel that had the whole clip, and I downloaded it. Problem is, it's not in subtitles, so I can't like understand all of what's being said anymore unless I have the subtitle version. I don't know. Do I have the subtitle version? I don't know. I don't think I have the subtitle version, but if I do, then it'll show up. But yeah, I saved it just in case to pull it out, you know, pull the rabbit out of the hat if I need to. Excuse me. And like I said, it was deleted. So I had to snatch I had to snatch it because I wanted to see for myself, because people were taking one clip or two clips and saying that this is who Leo is and disregarding everything Leo said in the entire episode. Leo basically stated why he wrote it, what he did, how he did it. Like, they kept saying, yeah, he said, don't, like, please excuse the language or whatever. It was a bit rushed or whatever. And like, oh, that's trying justification for him, you know, calling the girl a b and a hoe and f that, and to try to like be. Why does he need to do this with y'all when y'all wouldn't care y'all wouldn't give two craps if it was a black artist doing it? They wouldn't need to apologize, because I think that the stereotype is mental as well. I think it's psychological. I think that there are black folk and white folk both that hold to that stereotype. And so if a white person or an Asian person or whoever tries to like mimic that, not to mock it, but to be inspired by it, and they mimic it because of inspiration, it's seen as cultural appropriation. Because then they insult you and say that you're this, that, and the other, and call you all kinds of things that you're not. Not to mention the misogyny claim. Like he made a song about unaliving a woman, and I was like, what? Like, where in the song does he say he unalived her? And I had, like I said, I had a strong debate with a bunch of people in the video, not my video, but a video that somebody made, cutting and clipping stuff to make it look like Leo is like this evil person. I had a debate with several people saying, where is where's the lyrics that said he unalived her? And then they say, yeah, can't nobody tell me why that bee stopped breathing, F that hoe in my bag, and all this stuff. And I said, so him saying, can't nobody tell me why this bee stopped breathing, is an indication that he did it. I said, so why is he saying, can't nobody tell me why this bee stopped breathing? And they was like, that's just, he's trying to play on words, and he's trying to say something in a black kind of way. And I said, no, that's a non-answer, because not all black people talk that way. So I'll ask again. And we kept on going over this and going over this. I went over several points, and none of them could answer my question. I said, I want evidence right now that he said that he unalived a girl in the song. And none of them could give it to me because it wasn't there. Because they were just trying to create a scenario so that they could virtue signal about black oppression and misogyny. That's all it was. It was an echo chamber of absolute stupidity. So I bowed out gracefully, because which I don't care about this sort of thing, but I did win, because no one could give me the answer. No one could give me answers to any of my questions. And then they were shaming him, saying, yeah, he deserved to get canceled. Good for him. He's a scum. Yeah, make sure your girls, make sure all your black women stay far away from him. And I was just like, what? Because he might choke them. Then he gonna say they stop breathing and all this blah 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 blah. It was just dumb stuff. Anyway. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And JYP is JYPing again. They are debuting their first Korean girl group in February, allegedly without promoting Kickflip or what next NEXZ. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Okay, well that's, yeah, that is kind of stupid, isn't it? I don't know why JYP does this stuff. He's done this before, and I don't know why he does it. It's a bad idea. It's not very good for the other groups. Like, yeah, I don't. This is why I would never let my child go to JYP. First Korean girl group since In Mix. Wow, yeah, that is that's a long time ago. I swear, as long as JYP can't promote groups that aren't Twice or Stray Kids, they will always be the least successful for all the top 4 companies, or of all the top 4 companies. They need a better promotion staff. No, really. The only groups that I ever hear about from them is Stray Kids and Twice. There was a time when they used to promote Day 6, and then, of course, after Jay left, I don't know if they promote Day 6 as much. Is it Day 6? I think Day 6, yeah, Day 6 is JYP. They used to promote Day 6 a lot. But I don't know. It's like JYP is, it's like every K-pop group, every K-pop company, rather. Once their favorite is no longer their favorite, they don't promote them as much and they move on to the next thing. But Twice should have been getting this kind of love. Now Twice is so, they're getting more and more famous. And as you know, Twice lended their vocals to K-pop Demon Hunters. And so, among them, my bias, Jonghyun Han. I can't ever say her name right, but if I see it, I'll pronounce it right. But I can't see. I don't have her name in front of me. That's my girl. I think it is. Is it Jonghyun or Tae? Oh God, I have to look it up because I'm butchering my own bias's name. Anyway, the short-haired girl. She always wears short hair. She was on medication because she had hurt herself, I think, and it made her get a little bigger, and people made fun of her for that, which was stupid. The irony is that in JYP game, I have no, what is that word? I'm just gonna, anyway, in the JYP game, JYP himself said the company does quality over quantity. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm not with you on that one, JYP. I'm not with you on that one. They do quality over quantity, which is why is that the reason that he's making for why he doesn't have a lot of K-pop groups? I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. Caterers. JYP caterers. Apparently, I just could not pronounce that word for some reason. Caterers. I said, what is that word? I'm just going to skip it. Yeah, game caterers. Okay, gotcha. But yeah. I'm not going to be on this live stream for too much longer. My mom is off work today, so I'm going to spend some time with her. And I'm going to work on the next content. It's on to the next, because I can't sit here and linger on this hour-long thing for right now. I just can't. So I'm going to push it to the side for a moment. Work on some things I can actually work on. And that's what I'm going to do. Well, he was talking about how they have the least amount of trainees compared to the other 3 companies. But it was ironic, considering they have either the most or second most groups. Yeah, but they don't all get equal promotions, which is the dumb part. Like, he doesn't have enough, and I don't know if it's because JYP just can't afford it, which I think is a stupid, thought, that JYP can't afford it. But I just don't understand how you can't just promote your artists in a way that's at least somewhat balanced. But then again, SM does the same thing. But with SM, I at least know why they're not promoting certain groups anymore the way that they used to. It's because they're on to the next one. That group was like yesterday's news. We're going to promote this group like crazy. I'm just worried now. I'm still like worried that like Becky and Jimin and Shin will not return to EXO. Like, I'm still worried that that's over. That's over. And I was looking more into it. And yes, if they don't pay that 10% royalty fee, I think that's, like, if that's truly like the case and their legal team is telling them not to pay it, I don't know how that's going to help them. Maybe that's the plan, is to help them get out of EXO. But I don't like that idea. Why would you want to leave EXO? I don't think it's that they want to leave EXO. I think it's just because of the issues that's going on with SM. But there's been speculation and rumors, and I don't really give much, credence to these things, but there's been speculation and rumors that the EXO members are not cool with each other when it comes to like Becky and Jimin and Shin. Like, the EXO members are not cool with them right now. I don't know if that's true. But the speculation came from SM releasing a statement saying that there's like conflicts with the members. That's what I'm saying. ITZY just now finally started breaking out into the West. I heard them in the mall. Yes, me too. They actually have a K-pop. There's a K-pop store in one of our malls here in Maryland. And in that mall, they play ITZY. They used to play New Jeans. They don't play it anymore. 3 reasons why. I think they played Baby Monster. They played maybe Stray Kids and some other stuff. But yeah, we actually have a K-pop store in one of our malls, which is just, thank you to BTS and, Blackpink and all that for, making K-pop as popular as it is, to where we do have K-pop stores now. That's amazing. But it's just like, wow, it took this long. It took this long for us to get that. Which sucks because I think JYP is home to some of the strongest vocalists. Not all of them are from JYP. I'm not dumb, but yeah, I got you. JYP has some of the strongest, not, you know. SM has been also known for having some of the strongest vocalists, as well as visuals, but it's more so like visuals these days. I don't know how much they prioritize the vocalists, because I think a lot of groups are trying to become more hip-hop or rap focused. The neo soul stuff and all that. Like, even like with Rise, so he is like the main vocalist, but at the same time, it's very heavily like NCT-ish, just a little bit. And so, you know, ooh, what is that smell? It smells good. Is that the salmon? Ooh, that smells great. JYP don't care as much because it's not twice. JYP is an interesting guy, you know. Very interesting guy. The thing is, when I was watching A2K, JYP's you know, creation of Vicha, and that whole mini reality show, I was warming up to JYP as a person, because there's this sense of sincerity, like he really wants to help the girls like improve and become better. And because JYP also has a daughter, a little girl, I feel like I kind of softened up to him a little bit. And on a personal level, on a human level, I do kind of soften up to him a little bit because of that. But then there's the other aspect, the more business aspect, that, I don't know. JYP's just interesting. Like, I don't think he's being fake, but at the same time, he could be being fake, and it's just like fooling the heck out of me with some of the stuff that he says. I really genuinely feel like he wanted to help the Vicha girls, but at the same time, it's just something about something. And he already picked out his favorite, which, let me be honest, that girl that was his favorite was not my favorite. Like, my favorite was KG. KG and then maybe another girl. But that other girl was not all that in a bag of chips. I feel like she wanted to be like the next Ariana Grande. Just in Vicha. I don't know. That was just and I can't remember her name either. Then again, I can't remember a lot of the girls' names except for KG because it's simple. And she was my favorite. KG was literally my absolute favorite contestant. And still, well, not now. I think she's out of it. But my favorite member of Vicha was the underdog. KG was the underdog. She had an incredible voice, but she was not well-versed in choreography or dance. But she picked it up. She picked it up, and she like lasted to the last episode where she was finally picked as the member, one of the members of Vicha, which I was like, yes, thank God someone has common sense. But then there was the other chick that'd been in JYP, and she didn't get picked at all. And I think there was a report or something. I think, shoot, there might even be a music video out there, I think, of her like basically clapping back at JYP for not picking her for Vicha. So, JYP is a man who gets a bit too much hate and also gets way too much love at the same time. Because he doesn't strike me as someone who is like just overtly cruel like YG. YG is just cool for the sheer hell of being cruel. He's just cruel. He says very hurtful, like mean. I'm trying to be somewhat reasonable. I don't think that all the things he says is disgusting, but sometimes the way in which he talks to those young trainees and almost coming across as insulting, it does disgust me, because these are young people that are, you know, entering to the stages of puberty and things like that. So I am sensitive to that, because it's very important that you don't handle young people in that way. There's a delicate balance between correcting behaviors, helping to cultivate their craft, telling them what they need to work on, and then just straight up insulting them and saying really, really demeaning and terrible things to their face. And Korean culture says that all of that stuff is to build their character and to help them. And I say, because I'm an American, that's terrible. Like, you don't insult your child and say, oh, you know, don't worry, they understand. It's to build their character. They understand what it. No, that's weird. That's not Western culture here, okay? But YG is overtly cruel, whereas JYP, it's covert. Because, like, when he told that girl, I don't think you're taking this seriously because you're a little bit overweight. And she wasn't even that, she wasn't chubby. She wasn't, like, that chubby. It was baby pudge, because she was young. But he was like, I don't think you're taking it that seriously because of how, like, your weight. And I was just like, she's like, how old? JYP, get a grip, bro. Get a grip. She's too young to be told that. So it's like there are times where he says stupid stuff. But then, for the most part, JYP seems very careful with his words, very courteous. At times he'll say, you know, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. He'll try to get you to do something and challenge yourself and stuff like that. But I've also heard on the flip side, and I've actually seen videos where he's very strict when it comes to the studio's production and stuff. When he's with his artists in the studios, they said it's like one of the worst experiences is being in a studio with JYP, because he's a perfectionist to the point where he's just too much. So like people either think he's a demon or an uncle that would never do anything wrong, which is like, bruh, have you watched 16? She was slightly pudgy at best. Yeah, slightly pudgy, but like it was baby pudge. It wasn't like she was a grown woman. You know, she was a kid. So again, you gotta know like what to say and how to say it to children that young. And of course I call her a child because I'm in my 30s, so you know. All right, I think the next live stream I do will most likely be an art stream, guys, for anyone who's listening. I'm going to do an art stream probably next time. I'm going to draw something for you guys. Either I'm going to work on the Vaughn art that I'm supposed to be working on, or I'm going to do something different. But I do need to finish that Vaughn picture because it is well overdue. I just need the right motivation and inspiration to do it. But I will do my best. I do, like I said, I have a desk ring light, so now I can actually do a stream where I'm actually doing it properly, right? You don't, my cap won't be in the way like last time. Yep, coming, Ma. JYP is the most mysterious person ever. He gets a lot of praise from former artists like GOT7, Jackson, and Bam Bam. Then the next minute he's fat shaming a child. I know, it's crazy, right? Oh man, Dwiker, thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I know you're probably the only person that's actually been talking to me this whole time, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it so much. I'm about to dip off of here because my mom just called my name, which means it's time to eat. So, Haifa. I'm always late, I know. Yes, you're very late now. I'm about to end. But yep, I will get off of here now. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Like I said, I'm going to try to work on a different video this time. Only a tad late, Haifa. Pa. Yeah, okay. A tad late because, hey, listen, I'm going to do another stream anyway very soon. So I'm going to do another stream anyway, and it's going to be an art stream. So not today, but it probably maybe next week. And that's assuming I have, I'm an Arab. It's in my genes to be late. Guess what? I'm black, and it's also in my genes to be late. Black people are late to everything. We're late to church. We're late to going to the movie theater. We're late to restaurants. We're late to meetups and hangouts. We're late to everything. Football games. We're late to everything. That's just how we are. Not all of us, but, you know, it's a stereotype, but it's actually some truth to it. I should know. I've been around these people all my life, so I know. Anyway, don't feel bad. We all got a little bit of lateness in us. But yep, I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Riker, Haifa, thank you for showing up. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna start on another video very soon. So I'm white. I just thought I mentioned. Sorry, I didn't want to leave. We shouldn't have left you out like that, Riker. I'm sorry. We gotta include our white brothers and sisters too. You're right. No, the reason why I didn't include you is because white people are usually on time. White people are usually on time. It's black folk that be late. And all the black folks said amen. Said no one, apparently, because nobody's here. All right. I'm about to get off here, for real. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Unfortunately, I can't upload the long one yet, but I will. Have you been to the theater park? The trailer park? Oh, have you been to the trailer park? Well, for the most part, white people are on time, okay? For the most part, from my experience. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace. Bye, guys.